Hello YouTube. I am currently reading a book called Silas Marner about a single parent. Now what happens is Silas Marner moves to a village and he makes a lot of money weaving, and he's a pretty solitary, very solitary guy. And what ends up happening is his gold gets stolen. And one day when he is looking out the window, he is unaware that a young woman, or actually a little baby girl, has crawled into his house and taken a seat by his hearth, or the fireplace. And when he reaches out, well, first he sees a golden color, and he's like, "Is that my gold returned to me?" And then he reaches and he finds out that it's hair. So he finds out that it's a baby girl, and he tries to find out what's going on. Whose baby girl is this? Only to find the mother dead. And he goes to a dance that's being had in the book, and they kind of sort things out. The book picks up 16 years after that day, when Eppie is a beautiful young lady. And I haven't finished the book so far, but a movie called A Simple Twist of Fate is in fact based on Silas Marner. So that is by George Eliot. It's a classic. If you haven't read it, you got to take a look. It is a brilliant book. George Eliot is an amazing writer. That was George Eliot is the pen name of a woman, and the way that she describes Silas and his parenting, and how he gets a lot of advice from other people, how he's helped, is really good. But what I really want to talk about as far as men and parenting, because Father's Day exists simply because there is a woman who wanted to honor her father. Her father raised 6 of them, and a father is important. And even though a lot of times we say that people need a male role, young men and women need a male role model in their lives, and especially because of the fact that it seems like now we have a lot of broken men, and those who aren't broken men, they have a way of commanding respect without even outwardly doing such. Like when a person commands respect, it's in their demeanor, it's in their tone, it's how they act, it's how they are. It's a certain way about them. It's strong yet gentle, and I believe that's what a man is. Strong enough for the journey, strong enough to defend, but gentle enough to be sympathetic. He's wise and caring. Something that a lot of men don't value today. Many men just value the whole machismo factor. That's bull. So, the main thing I want to talk about as far as parenting is gay men and parenting, and about how a lot of right-wing media likes to twist it as far as, let's say, Brian Rahm from Alliance Defense Fund. I went to Albany for LGBT Law Symposium, was invited by a gentleman named Andrew Stengel, and it was a really good day. And I enjoyed the process, how they talked about the process of Don't Ask, Don't Tell being repealed, about even getting married, and let's say you have to travel out of the state, what kind of documents you have with you, and then the history of marriage. Brian Rahm said he had a Palm Pilot up, and they were feeding him lines during his speech, so to speak. And he was saying, well, okay, 2 men, how are they going to breastfeed? And I'm like, how are they? A bottle, formula, duh. And he made it sound so ridiculous, as if 2 men can't be good parents together. That pissed me off, because I want to be a parent. I am a gay man, and I want to be a parent. I can't just have an accident and say, well, hey, Daryl, you're pregnant, and now we're going to keep the baby, and we're going to do all we need to do here. Yeah, that's not going to happen with us. And we'd have to go through all kinds of things in order to even be foster parents, in order to even be looked at as, okay, they're qualified to have a child in their home. Florida's adoption ban was taken down 2 years ago, actually, and that was actually, I believe it was it. I think it was challenged 2 years ago, and maybe a year ago it was finally done and over with. But either way, Gil and his partner were awesome to those kids. They thrived. The kids knew them as their parents, and for the state of Florida to say homosexuals cannot be parents, there was no rational basis behind that. There was no real reason that they could have and should have been denied the ability to call these children children theirs, and for the children not to call them their parents. So the one thing that really gets on my nerves is when groups like NOM and right-wing organizations try to make men out to be as if we are so stupid that we can't parent. I am the oldest of 5, and if there's anyone who knows anything about being a parent, or at least enough about it, I guess it's the oldest child, because I had to be responsible for all of my brothers and sisters, and I actually have another sister who's a year younger than me, and we had to be the spare parent, and it was tough, and sometimes we got a whooping behind the little ones, and one day we stood up and we said, we're not going to have that. We got a whooping because of how we said it, but after that we didn't get a whooping after them, because they realized that we were right and that they are responsible for their own actions. And that's growth as a parent. Regardless of if you're straight or gay parents, you're gonna, some things you may feel as if you screwed up, not any more than any other straight parents. So basically, when people try to say that men, quote, aren't programmed to naturally parent, that throws a red flag to me, because, well, if you claim that children need a father and a mother, why are you saying the father? Why are you throwing the father in there if men aren't able to be good parents at all? In that case, you should just advocate for lesbian parenthood then. So that's bullshit. We all know that. It's crap. It's something that is just a whole nother way to denigrate gay men and lesbians, because all they want to do is just say, well, because you are with someone of the same sex, it'll confuse the child. No, they're confused. They'll wonder if they can marry Jane or John. Well, they want to marry one of them, so that's how it is. And kids already know. Like, I knew when I was 7. And when I was 8, my first experience happened, and even later on, I knew that was the truth about me. So, what are your thoughts on parenting? Like, I know parenting is not an easy job. There is no way that it could ever be. There's no manual for a kid. But I really want to be a parent, and I'm in no rush. I'm 26 years old. I have to establish myself before I even think about having a kid. And I hope that my boyfriend and we will be parents together. That's the hope that I have, because I want it with him, and that's all there is to it as far as I'm concerned. But I really, when I think about being a parent, I get an overwhelming sense of joy. I get an overwhelming sense that this is our family, and we're going to face it all together. We're going to be a rock, a unit that can take on the rest of the world, whoever, be it NOM, be it anybody, that we can face this together and we can fight and defend our family. So, what are your thoughts as far as you being a parent? Are you a parent? Are you an uncle? Are you the cool uncle? Do you think you'll be a good parent? Are you gay? Are you straight? What do you think about as far as being a father? A lot of times I think that in times when there are a lot of bad parents out there that are straight, there are 2, 3 gay couples who would love to have that child that's spurned by that straight couple. And oftentimes we adopt the ones that are called unadoptable, the ones that are older, the ones that have issues that most straight Christian parents may not want to take on. And that's what, I guess it's because we know how it is to be ostracized, but also it's an intense personal journey, because I think during the adoption process, I'm sure that you find out things about yourself. I know Fox could definitely speak to that, and there are other groups, other men and women who can speak to that as far as that's concerned. So, rate, comment, subscribe. What do you think about Men and Parenthood, and what are your thoughts? Do you think you'll be a good parent? Do you think that you shouldn't ever be allowed to have kids, or do you think you're too selfish to have them? I know some people who are. Rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you feel. Let me know what you think. Bye, YouTube.